Hi Aries, welcome to your deep love read for mid-June. This is good for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So I'm going to be pulling two Celtic cross spreads for you guys. The first is going to be a subjective one for your partner. That could be somebody that you're with, or at least somebody who's in your energy field. This is not a singles read. Guys, this is not that kind of reading, okay? I'll catch you guys next time, or my general readings. But this is going to be for those dealing with some sort of energy, okay? So first one is going to be a subjective read for your partner. I'm going to pull an astro card and throw some astro dice as for advice for them, and then I'm going to do the same thing for you, and we're going to end with some oracles. Guys, if this doesn't resonate, please check your rising sign, moon sign, and Venus, at least your rising sign, right? Because if you're here as an Aries sun, that's only one room in your house itself, so definitely check that out. Let's see what we have. Yes, Neptune, 8th house of how you guys blend together. Gemini, having to do with communication. All right, so why don't we just get right into this? Let's talk about Gemini first. Now this has to do with your partner. This is not you, this is your partner, right? The advice for them having to do with this relationship. So it's really time for them to start thinking about first of all, communicating. How do they communicate in the relationship? And how could it be improved? Now, for those of you who are in a space where you're in no contact, this could be them being pushed very spiritually to text you, to email you, to call you, to reach out to you in some way. Those of you who are in connection already, this is going to have them, the advice here is that they need to reassess how it is that they communicate with you. Do they hold back? Do they overshare? You know, are they critical? Are they not? You know, whatever it is having to do with that, but it does need to be addressed, right? That is that Geminian 3rd house of communication ruled by Mercury kind of energy. Now we have the 8th house going on here. So the 8th house this tells me that for them, it's time for them to really strip off another layer of themselves, to really show what's underneath. Even though they're going to be scared, this is a call for them to allow themselves to be more deeply vulnerable and intimate in this relationship, and that you know, they are at some level really ready to stop playing small, you know, and they really want to show what it is that is their authentic self. But it does seem like there is some sort of holding back. Additionally, the 8th house has to do with other people's resources, our partner's resources, how we blend together as a unit, who contributes what, how we connect, right? When we're in a connection, right? Because it's not only about money. Pentacle energy, coin energy, money energy also means mental, physical, and emotional connections to resources, and how we blend with other, right, when we're in relationship. This also has to do with very deep intimacy. So I feel like there needs to be a lot of communication regarding everything that's sort of 8th house related. But at the same time, I do feel like there is going to be a little bit of confusion for them now, right? Because we do have Neptune here. So something may seem very unclear to them right now because it's not supposed to make sense. You know, and on the other side of logic is divine wisdom, but right now they just know that they're confused. They're feeling confused about something having to do with this connection and having to do with how to communicate. So let's see what astro card comes up. Luna, okay. So it's the moon, and this is all about I feel. So I do feel like they're very deeply introspective right now. Very introspective. The moon rules Cancer, which is that 4th house of home. It's connected to the high priestess energy. It's about being very caught in themselves right now. You know, very wrapped in their own mind about this relationship, very much in their feels, right? Because while Neptune is this lack of clarity, this confusion, it's that 12th house energy, right? And that's where Pisces hangs out. And that's that very watery, very sort of almost bottomless house that, you know, that's where we call that the house of self-undoing, where addictions hang out, escapism. You know, so if something is really not clear, there can be some sort of escapism going on. They may be in that space right now where they've been doing that. They haven't been making maybe the best choices for themselves and for this relationship. And there is this need for communication with that Geminian, with the Geminian energy there. So let's see what we get as far as their Celtic cross spread. Okay, we have the Tower. So I do feel like something came apart here. Now, the Tower is something that they believed in at one time, coming down, falling apart, having to do something with this relationship. Now, it doesn't have to mean the ending of a relationship. It could be that they were struck by, well, we're going to roll out the cards and see what's going on, but this could also be the ending to a way of thinking, a way of seeing life, an understanding, right? I mean, that where, you know, they could be in a space, they could have been in a space coming into this energy, realizing that they've had themselves stuck, locked in their own emotional prison. And this is about something coming to light where they're realizing, I can't be like this anymore. I need to get out of my own way. This is not healthy for me. I need to reassess and reevaluate my belief system. And I need to recognize that it's not in alignment with who I am right now and where I'm at in my life right now. Maybe it resonated at once upon a time, but not anymore. So this could be that. This could also be the ending of the relationship. Right now, the current situation in their mind having to do with this relationship, in their mind, is the Two of Wands energy that's crossed by the Magician. So Two of Wands is Mars and Aries energy, and Mars is about both Mars and Aries, right? Because Mars rules Aries. This is about a fresh perspective, a new path, feeling very passionate, very excited about pushing forward on a new path, right? Having to do with a relationship, having to do with this relationship. And I do feel like it is this relationship. But there's a newness here. So, and you're going to know if this is your partner, where it's like you guys may have been in a relationship where something was going on in the relationship that ended abruptly. There was an abruptness about this. So something happened that it was illuminated that really either ended the relationship then, or tore down their belief system, but really abruptly. Now they're in a space of having this very deep passion, motivation to move forward on a new path, being crossed by the Magician, which is Mercury. You know, Mercury rules Gemini. So, communication coming in. Some sort of communication coming in that's going to incite the beginning of some sort of new path. So this is going to strongly resonate. If you guys have been out of contact, somebody coming back, and what are they thinking? They're thinking of Three of Coins energy. They want to build with you. I mean, this is Mars and Capricorn. There's more Mars energy. This person's like has a very sort of laser focus on what it, even though they're confused, they have this very laser focused idea of what it is that they want. But the foundation is the Three of Swords energy. So for those of you where this was the ending of the relationship at one time, we have the Three of Swords energy. Now this could have been them entertaining an outside energy, or it could have been the fact that you did. You know, I'm not saying the fact is that you did, I'm saying, or the idea that you did, but whatever it is. Now it doesn't have to be a third party. That's like the easy default to this card. It's the card of pain. I mean, plain and simple. It's Saturn in Libra. So what does Saturn mean? It means challenge. It means restriction. It means delay. It means karma. It means, you know, really needing to work through some sort of difficulty. Now, that can happen from your partner just betraying you some way, maybe with money, or having to do with family, having to do with friends, having to do with constantly always wanting to only have their way, right? I mean, if they're like, you know, anything like that, if they began some sort of addiction or continued to nurse an addiction when, you know, they led you to believe that they were in control of it, whatever it is, there is that sense of pain and betrayal. Now, because this is their perspective and it's the foundation, this is the card of pain, I do feel, Aries, that your partner is dealing with some kind of pain. Now, whether it's that they incited the pain or whether they were the receiver of the pain, it really actually doesn't even matter here. Because I have this idea where something happened, it ended, there's this new path, there's communication, there's this desire to build, but we have this pain in the foundation. So we have the Two of Wands there, and then we have the Three of Wands. So, and this is them and only them. So the Three of Wands energy is the Sun in Aries, and this is them moving forward for healing purposes. They need to heal. there is this healing. Now, an energy external to them, we have the Princess of Wands. So again, Wands are will, it's forward movement, right? And this is Scorpio and Sagittarius. So Scorpio and Sagittarius, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, which is all about transformation. So an ending and a simultaneous new beginning. And Sagittarius is about forward movement. Scorpio is also the ruler of sex. There's a lot of passion here. I do get that they're very passionate about you, but this is the thing. I do feel this Tower moment pulled them on another path. And what's interesting to me is that they're afraid of their own belief system. Because that's what the Hierophant is. And this is their fear position. This isn't real. They're afraid to tap into what it is that they believe. They're afraid to tap into their understanding of this relationship. They're afraid of that. It's almost like they don't want to look at something, which is interesting. But then we have you and the outcome, the Emperor. And the Emperor upright is awesome because this is you guys in your most balanced form. Because you guys are, I mean, you're the Emperor, but you're also the leaders of the zodiac. I mean, you guys are, you know, just so ready, willing with bells and whistles on to like take on a fresh perspective, a new initiative, really attack something that is challenging. You might not always think through what the end result is, but at least you get out there and you do it, and there's a level of confidence about it. And this is also, what's interesting about this to me though too, which is interesting because we have the Three of Swords energy, and then the Emperor is like honestly the most faithful energy. So I don't know if this was you who they at least thought maybe you were entertaining another energy, or they viewed you as somebody who hurt them in some way, somehow betrayed them. But the outcome energy of them in this relationship is sticking by you, even though they're on this new path. They're very attracted to you. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is a truth. Swords are always truth. Taurus and Gemini. In a very practical way. Taurus is an earth sign. It's very practical. It's ruled by Venus. Right? In a very practical way. Talking out what happened in this relationship. Because it's in Libra. And Libra does rule that serious relationship, 7th house connection. It's also, the glyph is scales. And it's ruled by Venus. So it's talking about what really happened in the relationship. Being really honest about it. Yeah, just being really honest about it. But I get that they view your relationship as coming into this energy being over. But then them reaching out to you. But there's this insidious pain that's not leaving them, yet they want to have a new beginning with you. I get a confused vibe from them. Well, yeah, we got Neptune there in the dice. But I do get there's a confused vibe because while I feel like they love you, I definitely get that. Something has gone on in this connection that has made them feel very uncomfortable. Now, maybe they did it. Could be. But something happened here. There's no question. If you know you did not have a Tower moment in your relationship, this is not your reading. Okay, we get you next time. It's the way tarot works on this platform. Saturn, this is for you. Saturn putting in the tough work. Something's not going to be easy for you to deal with in this connection. We have Libra. Of course, with South Node. Has to do belief systems, right? Fairness in your belief system. So, you know, we have the, you know, whenever we have the, did I say North Node? I meant South Node. I don't know. Anyway, South Node. South Node energy. South Node is in Sagittarius right now, which has to do with the belief system. And it's really going to be very applicable to wherever in your chart, your personal chart, you have Sagittarius. I did do a video on that. how it's going to be rolling out for you. But because the South Node is in Sag, I'm going to reference it in that way, where it has to do with belief system in this relationship, right? What did we have here? I don't remember what I rolled as far as house goes. I'm going to have to redo it. Sorry. I mean, there's a reason I can't remember. All right, we have our first house. Okay, so when we're talking about the first house, this is, you're being asked to consider if how you are in this relationship and how this relationship rolls out. Is it in alignment with your soul purpose? Because this really is time to be you, to be the most authentic version of you. And then we have a Libra, and then it's time to reclaim your personal power here in this relationship. Your needs matter. You know, your needs matter. So it's time to claim that in this connection. But I don't feel like it's going to be easy because we have Saturn there. All right, so let's see. Comes out here. Aries friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Magician, Star, nice. The Wheel, nice. Some heavy major arcanas here. 6 of Pentacles, okay, good. The Moon energy, Oh, nice future. Okay, so we have the Moon coming into this. So to me, the Moon is a beautiful energy, rules Cancer, the 4th house of home. It's connected to the High Priestess, but this is thinking very deep and really not talking a lot about it. Feeling a lot of things quite deeply and not really discussing it. And the thing here is with the Moon, a lot of times what we need to be careful of with the Moon energy is what we're thinking and feeling in private may not be 100% accurate and based in reality, and not because you've lost contact with reality or anything. It's just part of the human condition, you know what I mean? It's like your perception and your understanding of the way things rolled out, but it's like kind of like you're taking your own counsel, but you're not really talking about it. So there's just like a secret here. It's almost like a secret. It's something that you're not sharing because it is, I feel, and it's not really letting it out. But the situation right now is I see the Magician that's crossed by the Star. So Magician is communication, okay? So it's the Mercury energy. It's also about, you know, taking the broken pieces of something and turning them into something new, okay? So regarding relationship, it can indicate that through communication, because again, the Magician is, in astrology, is connected to Mercury, which is the ruler of Gemini, which is that 3rd house of communication. And then we have the communication is coming in that's going to allow for healing, because we have the Star, which is an Aquarius energy. And what happens here is this is insight joins up with emotion, and there's a conversation where you guys can speak very openly about what needs to happen differently, because the Star is an Aquarius energy, and Aquarius is all about doing something different than the way you've been doing it, right? Shaking things up, because it's a Uranus energy. So the communication coming in and you guys talking about how things need to be done differently now, which interesting to me is the crowning energy. You got the Wheel of Fortune. Now, even though this is a Jupiter energy, this will only give you Jupiter blessings if the bones of the relationship were good in the first place. So there has to be very open and honest recognition of that. Like, was the relationship good? Is the relationship good? Are the bones of it good? You know, what does that mean? Do you absolutely trust your partner? Do they trust you? Without trust, what do you have? You have a bunch of faking it is what happens, right? So the Wheel of Fortune, it's a fated energy in that way. It's driven by fate. So if the bones of the relationship were good, you're going to get the Jupiterian blessings. If the bones of the relationship was not good, Jupiter is going to pull that relationship out of your life because it's not meant for you. It's not meant. Now, as the foundation, it's like you guys have each other's back. When the chips are down, you guys do have each other's back. Not the most passionate energy, but it's a nice energy nonetheless, where, you know, when you need something, your partner's there for you. If they need something, they're there for you. Like, you got, you know, you guys have each other's back. But I do have you right now, Aries. We have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is moving away from something that's toxic. Even if only in your mind, and even if only for now. It doesn't have to be permanent, but this could be you recognizing that there's something very toxic about this connection, and you really, it's very challenging for you. And I feel like it's more than you want to deal with right now. And you know, your partner here is this Five of Cups energy, which is very focused on the pain of a situation. Focus on disappointment and disillusionment of the connection. You know? And your fear here is the Two of Swords. So this is interesting because the Two of Swords is about pressing the pause button and realizing that your cross purposes having to do with something in this relationship. So it might be your cross purposes between two people. You're confused. There might be another energy going on. So if that Three of Swords in your partner's energy was a third party, if it was you and they're dealing with that, you might be in this space where you're needing to be like, oh, I don't know which one is the best choice for me. I'm not sure who my truth is. I'm not sure all of that. And you really don't want to have to make that decision. And we have the Four of Cups energy is the outcome. So look, I mean, I have to call it what it is, right? I do feel like, you know, you have Four of Cups. You have that checklist card out. It's a checklist card. And, you know, identifying things in the relationship that you're really not happy with. But a lot of times the things that you're identifying are more often than not things that are unhealed inside of you from either a past relationship or could even go back as far as your childhood. And like, I'll give you an example. Like if you grew up in a very, let's just say, dysfunctional home where there was a lot of fighting and there was never any resolution, so that would be considered unhealthy fighting. Let's just say that for an example. How this would show itself in the Four of Cups energy is you saying, you know, all my partner wants to do is fight. It's all they want to do is fight. They're always finding a problem with something. Well, because you're so adverse viscerally to arguing, because you never got to really experience what healthy arguing looks like. So even though your partner may poke at you a bit more than you'd like as far as arguing in any way, you don't even want to stick around for the resolution. You don't want to deal with the discord. You don't want to deal with any of that. So it's less that your partner's need to address certain issues is the issue, but more that you have this unhealed scar inside of you. Now, I'm not saying that that is the case, but I'm giving you that as an example. That is the Four of Cups energy, you know, where it is that there can easily be this displacement. Now, I'm going to say this because I'm being called to. I am not throwing shade on anyone, and I'm certainly not judging at all. But we have the Ace of Pentacles as the final outcome. Ace is brand new. So I'm wondering if some of you were not entertaining another energy and you were in this state of confliction, like who do I choose from in this Two of Swords fear position, and you didn't end up getting yourself into a space where you almost started to exaggerate. And how do I say this? Shine too bright a light on issues in one relationship that you were finding fault with somebody as a reason and as an excuse to feel validated to go with somebody else. I'm just throwing it out there because that is what I'm getting. That's, somebody had to hear that, okay? Now, for others of you, this can indicate in this Four of Cups energy, you know, you feeling very disillusioned, very, you know, not comfortable. Now, for many of you, this could simply be you're bored. Now, doesn't mean that you're with somebody who's boring, but sometimes when you're in a connection for a really long time, things can go a little stale, a little stagnant, especially, right? A bunch of us, we've all been in for so long and we're only starting now to get out there. If that's the case, guys, you know, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. All this means is you need to pay attention. If you're feeling bored and restless within the connection and you've been in this relationship for a long time, do something to add a little spice. have some sort of like date night. Create some sort of, even if it's like an in the house, stay at home date night kind of, do something different. Do something that's going to reconnect you guys in a different way again. And if you're able to do that successfully, then we have the Ace of Pentacles, and this could be a new, like, refreshing, beautiful cycle. But I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be very laborious for you to have to do that. You're not even going to feel like doing that. And you may just be in the space of recognizing where you're not happy and not feel very motivated to do what maybe needs to be done to add a new spark into the relationship. So I give you a couple of interpretations there, but let's see. We do have that Saturn energy, right? And we have the nodal energies going on, and those are always challenging, and you got that in the dice. So let's see. Okay. Aries in this connection. Pluto, transformation. Soulmate. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Yeah, I mean, this is a great remedy for that Four of Cups energy. Get in the car. We're allowed to drive. Get in the car and go take a day trip somewhere. Just the two of you. Pack a blanket, some food. Just go do something, a bottle of wine. Just go do something beautiful. This could be the one. You already met the romantic partner you seek. Whoa. All right. Hold on. So listen, depends on which side of the fence you fall on, because I'm getting two very definitive messages. For some of you, I feel like you were involved with another energy and you were very conflicted, and this is no shade on you, but you were trying to validate why you wanted to end up being with the other person. But I get that you didn't really even need to do that. That might have been your guilt talking, because I do get that person is your soulmate. It's time to really just kind of disconnect from the world, focus on the two of you. You already met the romantic partner you seek. So there is transformation going on here for you, Aries. There's no question in relationship. Holy smokes. Yes. So that's going to resonate with some of you. Others of you, whoever you're with is your soulmate. You guys need to focus on yourselves right now. Focus on your relationship. Disconnect from everybody. Because you might be in this... Because what happens, too, with the Four of Cups energy is you're like... I'm not happy in this relationship. I don't like how they communicate. I don't even know how attracted I am to them anymore. I don't like when they do A, B, and C. It's just like, you know. But at the end of the day, you end up realizing, oh my gosh, you know what? I haven't been seeing the beauty of what's right in front of me in this person. You know? Okay. Emotions are a necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. Manifesting miracles, your dream is soon to become a reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is available to you. Follow it with faith. Okay. Still getting two narratives here. And they're both equally clear to me. So, Nine of Wands. The Hierophant, belief system. The Three of Swords, again. Yeah. Nine of Wands, Moon and Sag. Feeling the need to move forward out of something that you've been in because it's no longer resonating with you, and I do feel like it has to do with because of a third party that you met or a third party that your partner did, and you know that you need to move on. There's change, there's transformation, but I do get that you are with somebody. There is this soulmate, and you guys taking time and really focusing on on this, I'm going to say newer connection, but that's what I'm getting here. Guys, if this is not your message, do not try to make it fit. It's the way tarot works. You understand that? I hope you do. I know new people to tarot don't fully get that right away. They want all the messages to be theirs, and I totally get that, but it's not the way it works on a public platform, right? It's what private readings are for. All right, my friends, I hope this was helpful in some way. You guys take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.